Welcome back to the deep dive. When someone asks, "How was your day?" most of us, well, we tend to fall back on just one or two
Yeah,
words.
it's usually good. Or maybe busy.
Exactly. And those answers, they just kind of kill the conversation, don't they? They're like putting up a wall.
Right. Not opening the window.
So, our deep dive today is looking at this really fascinating conversation between two people, Emily and Paul. They basically gave a master class in turning a simple day into something, well, rich and detailed, really engaging.
Hmm.
Our mission here is to pull out the tools they use, the language, the specific verbs, the tenses to help you maybe stop just saying busy and, start telling a real story.
Okay, let's unpack this.
And what's really interesting, I think, is that it's not just about knowing more words, it's structural.
Structural. How so?
Well, the specific ways Emily and Paul talked about their day, the language choices, they weren't random, they were calibrated to convey feeling, timing, even how competent they felt.
Oh. We're sort of showing you the cheat codes, if you will. How to communicate your status, your feelings, stress, success, whatever, without actually having to spell it out like, I am feeling stressed right now.
Got it. So let's start right at the beginning of their day, because that immediate contrast you mentioned between them, it really sets the stage for everything else.
It does. You got the hectic start versus the slow and organized start. Chalk and cheese, really.
Let's jump into the chaos first, then. Emily's morning, it kicked off with what she called pure panic.
Yeah, she slept right through her alarm. We've all been there, maybe.
Oh, definitely. And when you're in that panic mode, your day just becomes this series of like frantic, urgent things.
Right.
She talks about a super quick shower, grabbing a banana while running out the door. And that detail that really stuck with me, drinking coffee while walking to the train.
That specific image, yeah. It creates this little mental movie, doesn't it? Rushing, trying to beat the clock. And linguistically, this is where it gets interesting, to get that stress across, she naturally leans on the past continuous tense. The I was doing structure.
Oh, okay.
She actually said, I was drinking my coffee while I was walking.
Yeah.
That tense is so important because it makes the action feel unfinished, ongoing in that past moment.
Right. Not just a quick, done thing.
Exactly. It shows the listener that continuous struggle, that tension. It's different from just saying, I drank my coffee, which uses the past simple and makes it sound like a completed, neat little event.
So the past continuous is like shining a spotlight on the actions that really define the stress of that moment. Okay, so let's flip that completely. Let's look at Paul. His morning was, well, deliberately the opposite.
Yes, he actively avoided that whole struggle narrative. He woke up uh, quite early, around 6 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
and crucially, on purpose.
Right. Not by accident.
His whole story there is built on agency, preparation,
Yeah.
control.
He describes making his coffee famous Paul coffee, apparently strong and black, and then sitting down to read the news for a solid 30 minutes. But there was something else. He'd already been active, hadn't he?
He had, and this is a brilliant bit. He used the structure of the present perfect, even though he was talking about something earlier that morning, to signal just how prepared he was.
How did that work?
He'd already gone for a run before the coffee and news, but he framed it as, I have already finished my workout.
I have already.
Exactly. Using the present perfect like that, even for something just an hour ago, it sends a message. It tells you, I'm ahead, I'm organized. It's like an instant high status signal in the conversation.
Wow. Okay. That's a subtle but really powerful difference. Using the tense not just for what you did, but to signal how on top of things you are. Okay, so they navigated these very different mornings. Then comes the commute.
Ah, the commute, often the black hole of daily conversation, right? Traffic was bad, train was packed,
Yeah.
and That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But both Emily and Paul actually found something interesting to say here.
So Emily, who'd had the stressful start, she actually got lucky on the train, found a seat.
Which gave her a chance to kind of reset, it seems. He listened to a history podcast
Hmm.
about ancient Rome, specifically.
And that little detail, ancient Rome, that's what makes it work, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It tells you something specific about her interest. It gives the other person, or you, the listener, a hook, a connection point.
Yeah, if you just say, I listen to a podcast, it's, nah.
Right. Means nothing. But I learned 3 new things about Roman aqueducts. Now you've got a micro story.
Okay, so Paul's commute, he was driving right and hit the classic nightmare.
Terrible traffic. Stuck for nearly an hour. Just, as he put it, not moving.
That driving narrative can be tricky. If you're already conveying tension, maybe with that past continuous, like, I was sitting in traffic, how do you stop it just sounding like whining?
That's a great point. It really comes down to how you frame the response to the situation. Paul managed to turn the frustration into something productive. He mentioned he usually gets frustrated, but this time he put on music and actually used the time to plan his workday, prioritize tasks in his head.
So he shifted the focus from the external problem, the traffic, to his internal strategy.
Exactly. It shows agency again, resilience. Even when he's physically stuck, he's mentally moving forward. That's a much stronger narrative than just complaining about the traffic jam.
Yeah.
It shows a coping mechanism.
So the story isn't just what happened, but how you use the time, even the bad parts. Okay, so they get to the office, and the language shifts again, right? More professional.
Instantly, you hear work vocabulary, specific tasks.
Yeah.
For Paul, that organized morning flowed right into focused work. A big team meeting at 9:30, discussing deadlines, developing a new app for some travel company.
So future-focused stuff, strategy.
Whereas Emily, because she was late.
She faced the email mountain,
Yeah.
spending the first couple of hours just catching up.
And that phrasal verb, catching up, it's so loaded.
How do you mean?
It immediately signals being behind. It tells you, without needing any explanation, that she's working just to get back to where she should have been. It implies backlog, effort, maybe a bit of pressure.
Right. It's shorthand for I started the day playing defense.
Yeah.
Okay? And these contrasts, they just keep going, even into the lunch break.
They really do.
Huh.
This little bit about lunch, it seems small, but it reveals a lot about their sort of philosophies on work-life balance, maybe.
So Paul was disciplined.
Very disciplined. Brought a healthy chicken salad, ate it at his desk, the classic al desco lunch.
Right. Keeping that efficiency narrative going.
Exactly. All about organization, getting things done.
But eating at your desk, I mean, sometimes you have to, but it's not always great for your head, is it?
Precisely. And Emily, interestingly, seemed to prioritize mental discipline over just task efficiency here.
What does she do?
She ran down to a cafe, grabbed a sandwich, but made a point of stepping away from the computer, getting a proper break, even if it was just like 15 minutes. She actually stressed how important that was. So her choice says something different. I need to clear my head to stay focused, maybe. It's a subtle but really interesting contrast in their values, shown through a simple lunch choice.
Okay, let's move into the afternoon. You called this the emotional turning point. It's often where the day either drags or picks up, I find.
Yeah, it often feels like the make or break part of the workday. And again, they didn't just say it was busy. They gave us an arc. Struggle, anticipation, release.
So the struggle part.
That came through with the description of this really tough finance report.
Yeah.
A 3-hour grind, just staring at spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And the description included the feeling, so many numbers, eyes being still tired, That specific sensory detail, tired eyes, anchors the struggle, makes it relatable.
And she mentioned the main part was done, but still needed checking.
Right. So there's still that lingering task, that bit of pressure.
But while she was deep in the numbers, Paul had a breakthrough.
A huge moment of relief, yeah. The triumph. He had this client call he might have been a bit nervous about.
Oh.
But the client apparently loved the designs. Only asked for a few small tweaks. Huge relief. That's the emotional release needed after maybe a tense morning or a difficult task.
And he used a great phrase there, didn't he? Something about the effort.
Yes, he said, I saw all that hard work paid off.
Paid off. That's such a good expression. It signals resolution, reward. It connects the dots, right? Links the earlier effort, the planning, the disciplined work directly to this positive outcome.
Absolutely. And that feeling of success, that relief, it seemed to fuel more productivity and foresight. This is where Paul again uses that present perfect tense really effectively.
To show he's ahead of the game again.
Exactly. To reduce worry for the evening, he didn't just say he was ready for the next day. He specified, I have already sent the slides to my manager for tomorrow's meeting.
I have already sent. That simple structure again, it just screams competence, doesn't it?
It really does. It confirms. Organized, efficient, thinking ahead. The action is done today, the time isn't finished, and the benefit being prepared for tomorrow is already locked in.
Reducing that evening worry is key. Which brings us nicely to the end of their workday narratives. The plans for the evening and looking ahead, we're shifting into future tenses now.
Right. So for Paul, Mr. Organized, the evening plan is pretty controlled. Finish that finance report just one more hour, he says. A defined end.
Okay.
And then order a pizza, kick back, and watch a new documentary series about deep-sea exploration.
See, again, that little specific detail, not just watch TV, deep sea exploration, it's way more vivid, makes you curious.
Definitely bites a follow-up, yeah.
Oh.
And Emily's evening, it's much more social, celebratory.
Right. She's meeting her sister for dinner at that new Italian place, La Vita, on Main Street.
And there's a specific reason. Celebrating her sister starting a new job. Again, the purpose adds depth.
And notice the tense there. I am meeting my sister, using the present continuous for a fixed future plan.
Mm-hmm. And this is where that really useful expression comes in. Looking forward to it.
Yes, good one.
It's such a simple phrase, but it adds emotional color. It expresses genuine enthusiasm about what's coming up, rather than just stating the plan itself. Really good conversational tool.
Definitely. And they even gave a little glimpse further ahead to the weekend. Hiking versus relaxing. It just rounds out the picture of their lives beyond the 9 to 5.
So if you pull all these threads together,
Right.
all these individual moments and language choices, you start to see the anatomy of a really rich story about a normal day. It really comes down to understanding the effect of your language.
Okay, so this is the core takeaway for everyone listening, right? These language structures are basically the scaffolding you can use to build your own daily narrative.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
You've got the past simple for those quick finished actions. I had a meeting. I grabbed a sandwich. It just moves the story along.
Okay.
Then the past continuous, that's your go-to for conveying stress or something that was ongoing, a process. I was working on the report. I was drinking my coffee while I was walking. It slows things down, signals tension or duration.
Got it. And the present perfect.
That's your power move for showing you're organized, efficient, you're ahead. I have already sent the slides. I finished the main part. It connects a past action to the present readiness.
Right. Signals competence.
And finally, using those future tenses clearly, but also sprinkling in specific details, the Deep Sea documentary, the Ancient Rome podcast that creates interest, anticipation, connection points for whoever you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
So by moving beyond just good or busy Emily and Paul managed to convey not just the facts of their day, the Aldesco lunch, the client call, but also that emotional journey,
Mm.
the panic, the relief, the anticipation. That's what draws people in.
So, what does this all mean for you listening right now? We've kind of laid out the techniques, the building blocks for making your own day sound more interesting.
Hmm.
So, here's a little challenge for you. Think about your own day today. Maybe pinpoint one thing that felt like a bit of a struggle, one thing you completed that signals you're prepared, and maybe something you're looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, good exercise.
And then try using one of the specific language tools we talked about. Maybe that past continuous for the struggle, or present perfect for completion, or a phrasal verb like catching up, or that feeling of when work paid off. Frame your answer around that next time someone asks.
Give it a try. See how it feels.
Don't just report your day, narrate it, make it a story. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
We really hope you feel a bit more equipped now to turn that standard "how was your day" question into something genuinely engaging.